Ratio spread is a strategy which involves the purchase of one in the money option and two or more out of the money options. So it depends on the ratio that we want to set up. The term ratio implies what will be the ratio between in the money option and out of the money option. So if we do a 2 is to 1 ratio, it means that we'll sell two out of the money options against one in the money option. So this gives us little to no risk on one side. And in a ratio spread, we basically bet that the price will stay above or below a particular threshold price. And this strategy has a defined maximum reward, but it has an undefined maximum risk on one side of the trade. And when would we want to employ this strategy? When we are expecting the price of the underlying asset to either stay above or below a specific threshold. And we'd like to set up this strategy in such a way that the maximum gain is maximized and we are reasonably certain of the risk being low. Or, in other words, we are reasonably certain that the price will not either fall below a particular price or not go above a particular price, depending on whether we are setting up a put ratio spread or a call ratio spread. And since we are selling two options against buying one option, ideally speaking, we would want to do this in a regime where there is a high implied volatility of the underlying stock. So let's ground this with an example. Let's take call ratio spread first, and we consider Nifty here. Nifty is an Indian stock market index. So assuming that the current spot price of Nifty is 10,820, so we buy one in the money option. So since the spot price is 820, which is more than 10,800, so we buy a Nifty call option at 10,800 and pay a premium of $168, and we sell two out of the money options 10,900 of Nifty at a price of 117 a piece. So since we are selling two of these options, we are collecting 117 bucks premium on each. We collect a cumulative premium of 234 less 168, so we get a spread, a positive spread net credit of 66 bucks on this, which in money terms translates to 49.50. So here we are currently at 10,820, which is here. So if this contract were to expire at a spot price of 10,820, which is where we are right now, we will earn 6,500 bucks, which is our maximum profit potential in this trade. And anything under this is a profitable scenario for us, so the profit may vary. So you can see that the maximum return on capital that I can earn on this strategy. Beg your pardon. The maximum profit that I can earn in this trade is not 6450, but it's 10,335, which translates into a return on the invested capital of 6.4%. So somewhere above the spot price, that is 11,037, is my break even. And beyond that, I have an undefined risk and I can keep losing money incrementally as the price goes up. So this is a trade that I would like to set up when I'm reasonably certain that the price is likely to stay below a certain threshold. And in this case, when the spot price are 10,820, I should be reasonably certain that the probability of the price, let's say, going past 10,930 or 10,950 on the outer side is very, very low. Because under that range is my entire profitable scenario and I carry no risk, and this trade is going to earn a positive return to me. So this is the total capital deployed here, and this is the various return on capital scenario. So once again, I would like to set up this trade only when I'm reasonably certain about the price staying under a particular threshold. Now, how is this different from selling a naked call option where again we are exposed to an undefined risk on the upside? Is that out here I'm actually creating a mixed bag. I'm selling two call options. I'm being a little ambitious. I'm selling two call options, but at the same time, to dilute my risk, not to eliminate my risk, but to dilute my risk, I'm supplementing the sale of two call options with one in the money call option, where I'm with the purchase of one in the money call option. So when the price starts going against me, it will dilute my downside. And conversely, in a put ratio spread, I'm betting that the price is likely to remain above a particular threshold. So here Once again, I'm taking a 2:1 ratio, which is I'm buying one in the money put option, and against that, I'm selling two out of the money put options. So here again, the Nifty spot price is 10,820, and in the money option will be 10,900. So I buy a put option at a strike price of 10,900 by paying a premium of 167 bucks, and I sell two put options at a strike of 10,800. These two out of the money put options at a strike of 10,800 at a premium of 125, a collective premium of 250, with a net credit or a net premium received as 83. So here the total, my net credit in money terms will be 6,225 bucks. So we are currently at 10,820, and we see that my break even will be a little above 10,605. So this is a trade I would like to do when I'm reasonably certain about the price staying above a particular threshold. So in this case, let's say I would want, ideally speaking, that I should be reasonably certain that the price is likely to stay above, let's say, 10,650. So even though this is above my break even point, but I would like to set up this trade when I'm reasonably certain that the price is, not really going to be in kissing distance of my break even, but likely to be significantly above that. And when it stays above a particular range, so let's consider a healthy range here. If the price were to stay above 10,700 at the time of expiry, I have a healthy return on capital on this trade. So once again, I would like to set up this trade in a high implied volatility scenario, because I'm selling two options and I'm buying one option against that. So since my net sale to purchase ratio is greater than 1, I would like to do this in a high implied volatility scenario, which will be to my benefit as a net seller. And if the price were to stay above this particular range, it's a positive scenario for me, since I have purchased in the money put option here to dilute my risk on the downside. So my return on capital on the upside, where I'm making money, it's diluted to a certain extent, but still I get a very healthy 3.8%. So on one side, I have no risk, and on the other side, I'm diluting the risk to a certain extent, and I'm doing this trade with reasonable confidence of the likelihood of the price expiring above a particular threshold. So, in an option spread, we basically sell two or more out of the money options against one or more in the money options. So, we can not just create a 1 is to 2 or 1 is to X option spread, we can even create a 2 is to 3 or 2 is to 4 as the ratio that we might like to create. So, in an option spread, we basically sell more out of the money call options against fewer number of in the money call options, and we set up a proportionate ratio. And this trade is primarily hinging on the premise that we are expecting the price to expire either above or below a certain threshold, depending upon whether we are setting up a put ratio spread or a call ratio spread. All right, so we've covered quite a few option trading strategies, at least 6 or 7 concrete options trading strategies. And if you were to count individual strategies within option spread and vertical spread, we would have covered almost some 9 or 10 option strategies. While this may not be the comprehensive list, there are more option trading strategies, but the real key is not really to know all the option strategies. What is more important is your understanding of the market regime, what is the current price action, what is the implied volatility regime, and based on that, how would you like to trade the market? And once you have a very good understanding of the P&L profile of a particular trade, P&L profile of individual elements of your trade as a buyer as well as a seller, you can set up your own custom strategies, which might even give you a better payoff than any of these cookie cutter strategies. Having said that, we'll add a few more option strategies as part of bonus videos. Now, we've seen in these trading strategies wherein one leg we are buying an option, and in the other leg we are selling an option. And even in a naked option strategy, one has a choice of either buying an option or selling an option. But fundamentally speaking, is it better to be a buyer or is it better to be a seller? And how do the dynamics really play out in favor of one versus the other? So, our next topic will be buying versus selling an option, wherein we look at what is the plus and minus of being both a seller as well as a buyer.